Welcome to Access Magic. I am joined today by Alison Luhrs.
Hello.
Game designer.
Yay.
Welcome.
Welcome. I feel welcomed. I'm very welcomed.
Are you welcomed?
Yeah, I don't know why I said welcome
Appropriately?
to you after you welcomed me, but hello.
I appreciate it. Well, we're here to talk about Dominaria,
Yes.
obviously. And, it's been a while since we've been back.
It's been a while.
A lot of loose ends.
Lots of loose ends, couple thousand years worth of loose ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of stories, lines that could be revisited.
It's a very eventful place.
Yes. Lots of apocalypses?
Like several of them.
Apocalypses.
In different forms.
Yeah.
But it's fine now.
It's fine now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But we've been following the Gatewatch for a while, obviously.
Yes.
So where do these storylines intersect? What are they doing on Dominaria?
So we kind of have to go back a little bit to Kaladesh, in the very end of Kaladesh, when the Gatewatch found out that the evil giant golden dragon Nicol Bolas has been behind all of the calamitous things that have been happening.
Right.
So they all got together, and Ajani decided, we need a plan. Let's rendezvous on Dominaria after I go and figure out some things. You guys get your stuff together, and then we're going to come up with a plan, and then we're going to go after the dragon. So I'll meet you guys there. And the Gatewatch said, yes, that sounds like a great idea. And then they super didn't do that.
They just went after Nicol.
They just said, you know what if we just did it ourselves? Like, we're bad, we're cool, we can totally take care of a giant dragon on our own.
Right.
And they got their butts mercilessly whooped.
Right.
Like, completely beat.
Jace got whooped like to a different plane.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He's currently abandoned on an island, learning how to be a grown-up for the first time.
Right.
Meanwhile, the rest of them have no clue where he is. He may as well be dead. So while all of Ixalan was happening, the Dominaria story takes place.
Right.
So when we start off on Dominaria, it's Nissa, Chandra, Liliana, and Gideon all completely beat and broken and bloodied. And Gideon Surall is missing and Jace isn't here. And all of them are just kind of in chaos. Like, what are we supposed to do?
Right.
We need to meet Ajani, but we don't know where to find him. It's just us right now.
Right. And some folks have just ghosted, right? So Nissa's
it's too
left.
much. Yeah, it's too much for Nissa. She looks at the state of her people. She looks at the state of her friends, and she says, "This isn't what I signed up for."
Right.
So she pieces out. She goes back to Zendikar, where she knows that she can help.
Right. And Chandra is also decided to not necessarily leave the Gatewatch entirely, but she's kind of gone on her own
She's overwhelmed
journey.
by it too.
Right.
So yeah, she takes off, and we don't know where she went.
Right. We're not entirely sure what she's up to.
She maybe went to go see her mom, catch up with the folks. Maybe she went to the day spa.
Nice. Got a facial.
She needs to take care of herself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
She needs some Chandra time.
Magic can only go so far.
Right.
Sometimes you need quality skincare help out. Yeah. But yeah, she's gone, leaving only Liliana and Gideon.
Kind of an unlikely duo here.
Literally black and white
Literally
combination.
black and white.
Yep.
So they're the only two sort of remaining intact members of the Gatewatch. What are they doing on Dominaria now?
Liliana has her own ambitions. She needs to kill her last demon that she has a contract with.
Right.
She knows that Belzenlog is somewhere on this plane, and she wants to kill him.
Okay. And is Gideon on board with helping her enact this plan?
I think Gideon's looking at his options.
Right.
And right now, he is thoroughly hurt and injured. He can't really physically do much. He's stuck with Liliana, who he despises, but at the same time, I think he recognizes that she's crazy powerful. She's incredibly strong and will only be stronger once all of her demons are gone.
Right.
So I think that he's thinking, maybe I should be more flexible with who I consider my ally.
Right.
They don't necessarily have to be perfect for them to be good to, kind of tie my post to.
Right.
Maybe this team up isn't a bad idea.
But it's still there's some friction there, right? Kind of like buddy cop duo.
Oh, they're still repulsed by each
Right,
other. Yeah,
right.
no, she thinks that he is a goody two-shoes, which he super is.
Right.
And he thinks that she is kind of murdery, which she super is.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's something else more personal. I mean, killing the demon is pretty personal, but something else that's pretty personal for Liliana here in Urborg. We've got her brother Josu.
Her brother Josu, who she kind of sort of accidentally turned into a lich.
Just a little
when she was
tiny
a
bit.
teenager.
Right.
We've all made those teenage mistakes.
Yeah,
before.
teenage angst, it does crazy stuff.
Sometimes you steal a car, sometimes you turn your brother into a lich. Who knows,
So he's just been wandering around Urborg, around Dominaria?
Right, for a while he was wandering, he was, being lichy and awful. And Belzenlog found him and scooped him up and turned him into a lich knight. So he gave him a title and a job and knows that maybe someday Liliana will come back. And this feels like a pretty good way to get under her skin.
Yeah, it'll be pretty rich.
Showing off her brother as a Lich Knight.
Right.
So maybe they'll get a chance to finally see each other after all of these hundreds of years.
Awkward family reunion.
Really awkward family reunion, yeah.
Well, it looks like things are a little bit complex for Liliana and Dominaria.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show the fans the Bells Unlocked card.
I really want them to see that too.
Because I think they'll really enjoy it.
It's really good.
But we're going to bring on some folks after we do that to talk a little bit more about the old legends.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us,
Thank you so
Alison.
much for having me.
Yeah, it's great talking to you.
Good talking to you too.
Yeah. And we'll continue. Hey everybody, we are back with Kelly Digges, Senior Game Designer, and Aaron Forsythe, Magic Senior Design Director. Thank you for joining me, guys.
Yes,
it's great to have you. So we just saw Bells Unlock.
Yeah.
Looking awesome.
Kind of a lot to absorb there.
Yes, he's very intimidating looking.
Yeah.
And he has sort of he kind of casts a long shadow on Dominaria, although a lot of his accolades are not necessarily true. Is that right?
His origins lie in something called the War in the Abyss. And since that war, he has not actually been able to leave the Abyss and have a lot of direct influence on the world. There's this whole hole in his work history that he's self-conscious about.
Right.
So he is claiming all of these titles for himself and acts of villainy from Dominaria's history that he didn't necessarily actually
He's overcompensating.
He is trying to claim the relics and the stories and say, no, really, that was all me. And he has all of these titles from characters who we know, titles, familiar titles to many players, like Lord of the Pit, Lord of the Wastes, Evancar of the Stronghold, Patriarch of the Cabal. He's taken all those titles for himself. And I said early on in design, I really want a small black creature with no rules text that I can just have be some little Cabal priest who is listing all of his titles out just over and over. And it did end up in the set. I did get it.
That's great. That's great.
Like revisionist history is such an interesting take on black, right? Like this is a way to use power and corruption in a very sinister way, but fits awesomely into the way that the world is set up and the affection that all of Dominaria has with its own past.
Right.
And then it's fun to play with the fact that for many of the players, well, they know he wasn't the Lord of the Pit. The Lord of the Pit was this other card from long ago, but the people of Dominaria don't necessarily know that.
Right. So his reach is much longer because of all these lies that his disciples are kind of spreading. Well, speaking of Dominaria's history, we have some figures that we may recognize from Dominaria's past that are actually returning.
Yeah, so there are a lot of legends in the set.
Yeah, it's one of the big hooks of this. We wanted to make that matter. It seemed like a world that would be just ripe with awesome characters and new heroes arising as the story demanded more heroes.
And what we were trying to do was make sure that each of them, when you look at their card, when you read their name and their title, you go, whoa, I want to learn more about this person. Demon Lord Bells Unlocked. I don't care if you know Liliana's story or if you know anything.
It's a mighty name.
That's a mighty name. Demon Lord Bells Unlocked, the Elder Demon. I need to know more about this. So that's what we were going for with the art, with the name, flavor text if there is any, and even the rules text of every legend.
Yeah, sounds super exciting. Well, thank you both so much for coming and sharing all this awesome information about these characters. I'm really excited to see them in action and see these stories come out.
Fantastic.
So thanks so much.
Me too. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.